Portland +2 at Philadelphia. It's an interesting one because Philadelphia is looking good. Joel Embiid, his knees are not looking so good. If you watch him play, despite them winning 2 games in a row, he hasn't been great. He is banged up. And I think Yusuf Nurkic on the other side of the ball is going to be a pretty good matchup for him. Nurkic is playing well this season, even though the Blazers aren't playing to their capabilities. Nurkic is bonding with Coach Chauncey Billups. There, a great article written by Jason Quick on that on The Athletic. I see them bouncing back like they have after every loss with a win this season. They lost yesterday, so it is a back-to-back for Portland. They had a close game with Charlotte that went down to the wire, but they lost, and Damian Lillard still has not come out of that shooting slump he's had all season. But against this Philly backcourt, I see that as a good possibility of happening. Tyrese Maxey and Seth Curry. Tyrese Maxey, a young player, did play well in their previous game, but I like looking at that and saying, well, he's not going to have a great game every single night out. So if they bring in Matisse Thybulle to guard Damian Lillard, which will happen throughout the game, I think it might even be too late when they bring him off the bench in the second, third quarter. Blazers bounce back, while the Sixers, I think their record is showing that they're better than they actually are. So I like Portland in this spot.
Something we always like to think about when we're considering our bets is the other side of this. If you were going to have a pause in this one, if you were thinking that this one goes off the rails for you, where can the Sixers make it go that way?
That's a very good question. I think Tobias Harris can probably go off against the Blazers defense. Tobias Harris is a guy who's had more of a role this year, and he could easily go for 25, 30. He's feeling good in his role. So it could be there. And the Lillard slump, which is a huge mystery, although it did happen last year in the March-April run of games. There was about a 10-game run where he was shooting about, 34%. If that continues, then the Blazers are in a bad spot. But Damian Lillard is a leader, and what happens in the NBA when you've got a guy like that is you bounce back after losses. Again, every single loss for the Blazers has been followed up by a win, so I see that happening.